Welcome back. My name is Emily. I am a wife and mother to 3 little boys with a baby girl on the way. Today we're diving back into some fall decorating. We have done almost every room in my house with some fall touches, but the front porch was lacking. So first we hit up our Amish farmers market where we found the most gorgeous heirloom pumpkins and brought these home, and we're going to just make over my little porch with some simple projects.
Whoa, nice. All right, it's like an airplane, lots of wind. It's probably so loud right now, but we are going to decorate the porch for fall. So the boys are helping bring the pumpkins that we just got over, and I think we need to clean them a little bit. We need to clean the porch a little bit. I have a fall wreath to put up, and I want to make some really cute pillows out of some thrifted fabric for our bench here. And then I'm going to share with you guys what to do with pumpkins after the season, because we're not going to let any of these go to waste.
This one's probably the heaviest of all.
All right, we got a lot of pumpkins. That was quite fun little trip. And I also planted these mums over the weekend, last week with Benji, and they're starting to bloom, which is super exciting.
It's a little bit embarrassing how infrequently I clean my porch. It just gets covered in leaves pretty quickly since we have a big oak tree in the front yard, but I have this very handy child's battery operated leaf blower that works so well because it's just super light and it's powerful enough for leaves on, the porch. So that's what I was using here, and the kids love taking turns with it as well. So it works great. I can link it down below if I can find it on Amazon. And then I wiped down our door because it really needed it. And next we're gonna bring in all of these pumpkins. I'm gonna put up a few pictures of my Pinterest inspiration. I just decided this was the year we're gonna make the cascading pumpkin dreams of my Pinterest board a reality, but I don't have stairs, so I have a different way that I'm going to do that, and it turned out really well. So I will share those tips with you all. Color-wise, I would have preferred to go with more muted colored pumpkins, but my kids really wanted, they insisted upon bright orange pumpkins. So I compromised with that by just getting some that were a little bit more tonal orange, and then some that were also those more pastel colors that I really like. The ones that I found that were the cheapest, those big jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, were at Aldi. Those were like $3. So hot tip, go to Aldi.
Excuse me, sir, did you just steal my pumpkin? Can you bring it back? I think that we need to add like some levels. So let's put this there, and then we can try, we could try that one on top of there. It might look cute. Scoot over a little bit. That one is kind of the backdrop.
Is it gonna stay like? I said Paul.
What?
Wait, Mom, I think that one should go right here. Give me that.
Well, what about if this one goes right there? Okay. So I thrifted this wreath like 2 years ago, but it's bothered me ever since I got it because you can see the glue in here. So I want to come up with a solution to cover up those little glue things, but for now, we're just gonna get it hung. And then we're gonna do some DIYs tomorrow, fix things up a little bit.
And this is my turtle. I said that this is my turtle.
Or Benjamin, are you telling them about your turtle? So I'm really liking how our flag has the red, and then we have red in the mums that I got here. They're like just starting to bloom. And then I have red up there on the wreath. I think it looks really cute. Adding that stool was a good move. Next up is this bench. My birthday is this week actually, and I got a little early birthday present from Berga. I am obsessed. Y'all, I just like don't change my phone case very often. I just kind of forget about it. but it truly is like an accessory when you have a cute one. So today's video is actually sponsored by Berga, and they create these adorable phone cases that are on trend. They are beautiful and functional. So I did have this little one that I was so inspired to get after our trip to Spain this summer. It has like sardines and olives and a pickle and a shrimp. I just thought it was so funny. And then I just swapped it out with this one, which is so cute. I have a few more phone cases that I'm going to show you, but they also make things like laptop cases. I got a laptop case because I was just risking it with it there. And then also little AirPod holders. They also make them for Androids as well. Like every single type of product that you could have technology wise, they have a case for them on their website. Also got, well, for my sister, because her birthday is 2 days after mine, I got this one for her. She picked it out. It's so cute. It's tomatoes. And then I also got this one for myself, which I think will be perfect for like the winter season. It's a little bit darker and everything. And this is the Elite type case. So they have two different types of cases. They have this one, and then they have the Elite case, which has the gold around here. You could also do silver there. And it has a little raised bevel as well. This one also has a raised bevel, but it has a fabric velvet interior. Just feels super high quality. And these have a 1-year warranty as well. So if anything happens to it, you are covered. So Berga gave me a really special deal to share with you all, which I think will be perfect as we head into this holiday season. So if you buy 4 phone cases, it'll be the same price as 2. And then if you use my discount code EmilyG times X15, you can get an additional 15% off of that. So that's a great deal. I know you guys will be shocked and a little bit overwhelmed how many cute designs they are, but they do keep them kind of in collections. So you can find a collection that you like and then select from there. So thank you, Berga, for my birthday present, and thank you for sponsoring this video. All right, it is the next day. The kids had so much fun helping me put these pumpkins out. I am shocked, actually shocked that none of them were dropped, but they lifted like all of them. So that was very good. I am very grateful to have 3 strong little boys in my life. All right, so I want to make some pillows for this bench. I'm thinking one on either side. These are just really old inserts. They're not like the down nice ones, so I feel okay like using these outside. I have these 2 fabrics. I got this one at Joann's, rest in peace, forever ago, and that one's cute, but I also have this one that feels a little bit more like outdoorsy. Can you see the texture on it? I actually found this at the Goodwill bins, and it is a curtain. No, I thought I would turn it into pillows at some point, or a throw blanket or something, but I had no idea what. So I think I'm gonna turn it into pillows out here. I think it would be so cute, and I'm gonna do a little hack so that these don't end up on the floor. It's something that my mom taught me. So let's take these inside and get sewing. This will be a super simple little project.
That you need to be in an active posture of managing your limbic system, so your limbic system isn't managing you. That's what you can do using any of these metacognitive techniques. This induces changes, biological changes in the brain, almost certainly.
Okay, I got all my pieces cut out. I just showed you all last week in my boys' bedroom makeover how I make pillows. So I'm not gonna show you again. If you are interested and want more details, definitely go watch that video. But I was able to use, since this was a curtain before, I was able to use this seam from the factory that they did, so I don't have to do that. All I have to do is the seam around the outside, because the back is going to have 2 flaps over the back so that I can take this cover off and wash it. I probably will have to wash this outside. It's just gonna get like dusty and stuff. So I'll be able to just cover the back with these 2 pieces, and then I can open up, and it already has the seam. And somebody told me when I shared this fabric, like I said, I got it at Goodwill bins. So this curtain was made, like the fabric was, I don't know, you pay by the weight, but it was really cheap. And someone said that this is actually a really good brand, Rachel Ashwell. I'm really glad that I can make something different out of this really pretty fabric. So I'm gonna sew these up. And a complete side note, I'm listening to a podcast right now by Dr. Arthur Brooks. Really enjoying this guy. He's like the happiness professor at Harvard, so maybe you've heard of him before, but I'm listening to his 6-step morning protocol for a better day. Highly recommend it. I can link it down below. He also had one about like I think it was like 3 things to do to decrease your anxiety today or something like that. So, and that one was really good too. So I don't know, just really enjoying listening to some psychiatry podcasts. Anyway, let's get these sewn up.
The fact that this fabric had that seam already that I was able to use on the back pretty much cut down the sewing time that I needed to do by about half. And so I'm definitely going to look in the future when I'm looking for fabrics at the tablecloth section, the sheets, anything, the blankets, anything that I could use to turn into pillows instead of just like plain fabric that I have to do all of the seams on, because this was such a good little solution. I think it turned out really lovely. I love all the texture on these pillows as well. And the little hack that I mentioned was that I added onto here, this was my mom's idea, I believe. Maybe she saw it on Pinterest or something, but I added little ties onto the back. I had enough fabric to just use a seam as a little ribbon, but you could use ribbon, whatever you need. And then I attached this onto the back of my bench so that they won't be blown off by the wind or knocked off by kids. And I think that's just perfect. Don't mind my dress being absolutely filthy, covered in strings. But I also added a little piece of fabric onto a upside down bucket that I was using back here as a little riser. That worked really well to kind of add some height so that there could be this cascading effect with the pumpkin, since I don't have stairs like my Pinterest pictures. And then I also used a little bit of the fabric as well that I turned into a little bow, and I attached just some little wire onto the back of that bow and then wove that into the top of the wreath. It doesn't cover all of the glue dots, but it covers the biggest ones. I just made sure that it covered those, and I think it looks a lot better. At least it distracts my eye from those glue dots. And this is how my front porch turned out. I have to tell you though, I'm going to show you in just a minute that I really, really want to turn this door into wood with Wreath. It's a product you can use. I've seen a lot of creators use it, but currently being 5 months pregnant, I cannot do that because it's a very stinky chemical. But I asked ChatGPT to do it for me, and look at what they did. This is the thumbnail from this video. Look at what it did to my face. How hilarious is that? But the door looks so good. So somebody give me some encouragement that I have to do this. Affirm me, please, because I just want to do this project so bad as soon as this baby pops out, maybe, or a little bit after. And it would make such a big difference on the outside of our house. Now, as promised, I want to give you all some lots of ideas of what to use your pumpkins with after you're done decorating with them. Make sure you catch them though before they start rotting. Last year, I was able to cook all of mine. Like, none of them were rotten except for the ones that the kids carved, but that is kind of inevitable. But all of the heirloom pumpkins can be cooked. They kind of just have what I noticed. They're a little bit lighter in color. They didn't have as much flavor to them, but that is just fine because I'm mostly primarily using them as I would say an increased fiber thing. So I add them to pancakes. I add it to what you'll see here, which is a curry. I add them to muffins, oatmeal, anything that I can think of, chili. I just put it into everything. So what I did last year is I roasted the pumpkins. I cut them in half, took the seeds out, roasted those pumpkin seeds, and then I roasted the flesh of those pumpkins and then scraped it all out, let it cool, and blended it. And then I just froze it in lots of jars, and I was able to have pumpkin puree all through the winter, all through the spring, and we use it very often. And so it was really yummy, and that's exactly what I plan to do with the pumpkins this year. I definitely have a lot more this year. I went all in. But this is a pumpkin coconut milk curry that I made, and it was so delicious. I will leave the recipe linked below if you want exact measurements. I do not measure when I am cooking, especially something like this. It's just, you can kind of just add it to taste. But the premise of it is that you are going to saute some chicken and then add in the spices, garam masala, and the curry powder. I also added in some turmeric just because it's supposed to be good and like anti-inflammatory, and salt. And then you add in onions and garlic, and then I used about 3/4 of a can of pumpkin. I don't have any more of my pumpkin puree from last year, so that's what I'm using now, but I definitely will. I'm looking forward to being able to use real, like fresher pumpkin when we get there. And then I used an entire can of coconut milk, and this simmered on the stove and was just absolutely delicious. And I had about 1/4 can of pumpkin puree left, so I didn't want that to go to waste. And I have made this recipe actually like a few days ago, and the kids loved it. We ate it all up in one morning. My kids just love oatmeal, so I am making a pumpkin pie overnight oatmeal, and it turned out so delicious and creamy and thick. I'm just using maple syrup, oats, milk, the pumpkin puree, vanilla extract. I put a little pinch of salt in there, and then pretty much all the spices that you would use in a pumpkin pie you put in there. So cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and yeah, I guess that's it. If I'm forgetting one, you can add it in yourself, or just improvise. And this sits in the fridge, and then we warm it up in the mornings, and it is absolutely delicious. So both of these recipes turned out delicious, but there are so many more to come. And if you are enjoying seeing me cook in the kitchen, I highly recommend checking out my Handmade Home vlog series, which I will link down below. I have a playlist of those because I share lots of recipes in there, like how I make a lot of our food handmade from scratch, including I recently shared how I make our yogurt from scratch. Yogurt would have been delicious on top of this one. How I make our bread, like that one you see there, from scratch, and just lots of little homemade projects around the home. So I so hope that you all enjoyed seeing some ideas in this video, and I hope you'll come back next week. Make sure you're subscribed because I will be sharing a fall home tour. Have a very blessed week. Bye guys.